So now I want to show you some of the service consoles to kind of distinguish how they might vary per service, okay? So if we were to look up EC2, and we just did look at this, but the interesting thing is that some consoles, the EC2 console, is the home for other AWS services, and you just have to learn this over time to know that. So for instance, Elastic Block Store is its own service, but it's tightly linked to EC2 instances, so that's why they always have it here. Same thing with AMIs. Security groups, same thing with that. So these are interesting because these are basically part of virtual networking. And so you'd think they'd be under the VPC console, but they are actually under here with EC2. And so load balancing autoscaling groups tightly coupled to EC2. If we make our way over to VPC, here it's going to contain all the new stuff. Does it have a new experience? No, I guess this is the newest one. It looks a bit old and a little bit new here, but we have a lot of different things here like firewalls, VPNs, transit gateways, traffic mirroring. We make our way over to CloudWatch. Okay, and CloudWatch has very focused services. They're all actually named, and this is more like feels more like a single service where you have these very focused services where you have alarms, logs, metrics, events, insights, right? But you're going to notice that like the UI highly varies. So we had looked at CloudWatch, and then we had looked at VPC, and it looks like this. And then we looked at EC2, and it looked like that. And so there is inconsistencies because each service team, like that work on per service or whatever, they have full control over their UI. And so some of them are in different states of updating. So some people might have updated the left-hand column, but this part is old, or you might click around like under something else like EC2 dashboard, or maybe a better example might be AMIs. I remember we're in here and something looked old here. Yeah, see, these are the old buttons, and that's just how it is. So everything is very modular, and so they get updated over time. So that is the challenge that you're dealing with. You're always having like 3 different versions that are cobbled together in each UI. One thing that I found really interesting is that VPC has its own console, management console, but if you were to look up this in the SDK, so if I was to look up AWS SDK EC2, okay, I'm just looking up Ruby here as an example because that's what I know how to do. If you look under here, let's say you want to pragmatically work with VPCs, you'd think that it would have its own top-level VPC because it has in the console its own management console, but actually VPC is tightly coupled EC2, and so when you want to pragmatically use VPC, you're going to be using actually EC2 as how it was built. So the what I'm trying to get is the APIs don't one-to-one match with this kind of stuff, and so it's just kind of interesting that there's those kind of differences. But again, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just trying to say, like, keep your mind open when you're looking at this stuff, okay?